Today, I shall continue with the importance of environmental studies. Now, if I take India alone, it has 16% of the world's population. Sustainable development is meeting the needs of present without compromising. There are major two different aspects, that is intergenerational equity, intragenerational equity. Hello my dear students, welcome back to the session 2 on the chapter Multidisciplinary Nature of Environmental Studies. Last class, I explained to you all about what is the environment. We also learnt about the multidisciplinary approach of environmental studies and about the scope of environmental studies. We also learnt about the 4 components of environment, isn't it? Today, I shall continue with the importance of environmental studies. The first one being the environmental issues that are globally important. That is, there are some issues which we have to all put effort together so that the problem can be tackled. Which are those problems which is there around the world? It is for all, it is for common, for everyone. That is global warming, ozone layer depletion, acid rain, marine pollution, and loss of biodiversity. Now, these are the problems which is there not only in India, it is of concern for everyone around the world. That is, the temperature is increasing, global warming, ozone layer depletion, marine life. We know that 3/4 of the earth is made up of water, in which the major part is the marine ecosystem, and this is getting polluted, isn't it? So, all of this we are going to learn here. And also, next thing is problems cropped in the wake of development. What are the different problems which is cropped? That we are going to learn. It is about the urbanization, industrial growth, transportation system. We also learn about the agriculture, housing, etc. All of these problems have given birth in the name of what? Development. Okay. Next is, we are also going to study about the explosive increase in population. The explosive increase in population has led to several problems. Now, if I take India alone, it has 16% of the world's population and has got only 2.4% of the land area. That means India is heavily populated and we have a very small amount of land resource. Thus, the agricultural experts have identified soil health problems, deficiency of micronutrients and organic matter, oil salinity, and the damage of the soil structure, which can lead to lot of problems for supplying enough of food for the amount of population which we have. And the food which is grown, or the crops which is grown in this land, which has so many problems, may not be of that superior quality as well. We need to have concern about the soil health as well. Okay. So, next is the need for wise planning of development. We need to plan very wisely about the developmental parts. That is, we have to take care that we are not spoiling the environment. We have to have a sustainable approach so that we are going to save our environment for the future generation. And also, everyone individually as well as collectively, we need to be responsible for the environment around us. So, there is a need for wise planning. Next, we are going to study about the concept of sustainability and about sustainable development. The sustainability and the sustainable development. What is the meaning of this? And this is the topic of most concern which we have now. And also the concept of sustainability was brought to attention to humanity during 20th century. During this time, there was a lot of development which was happening in few countries, which originated to new problems. What are those problems? The problems of pollution. There can be lot of pollution, air pollution, water pollution, lot of plastic waste which came into existence. There are so many other problems which originated due to the development of few countries, which was of lot of concern to our environment. So that is when the approach of sustainable development came into existence. So what is sustainable development? Sustainable development is meeting the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So what we have to do? We have to meet our own needs, okay? But we should not compromise with the need of our future generation. That means we have to save all the resources what we have. We have to use the natural resources optimally so that they can be saved for our future generation. We have so many natural resources, that is land resource, forest resource, energy resources, water resources, which we have to save it for our future generation, and it should be such way that even we can use, and also we have to save it for the future generation. So this approach, we call it as sustainable development. Next is about the important components of sustainable development. There are three important components: economic development, community development, and environmental protection. That is, economically we should develop, community wise, that is the people or the country also should develop, and also we should protect the environment. So all of these three has to happen hand in hand so that we have a sustainable approach. So environmental development, what we have to take? A viable natural environment should be there around us so that we can save it for the future generation. Economic development, that is sufficient economy should be there. And also social development, that is nurturing the community. Okay, how are we going to have developmental activities which is happening in a particular community? Even that has to be taken care, such that we have sustainable naturally and built environment, sustainable economic development, okay, and also we'll have equitable social environment. So all of this has to happen hand in hand for sustainable development to take place. So all the development has to happen, but the most concern which we have to have in mind is to save the environment for our future generation as well as meet our own needs. This is sustainable development. Next is about the aspects of sustainable development. So what are the different aspects? There are major two different aspects, that is intergenerational equity, intragenerational equity. Intergeneration means it is within a community. Intergeneration equity means within the two generation. Okay, one is the present generation and the future generation. What we need to do is, it states that we should hand over a safe, healthy and resourceful environment. What is it? Safe, healthy, resourceful environment we have to hand over to our future generation. So it is intergeneration. From one generation to another generation, the environment has to be saved in a healthy way and we have to hand it over. That is intergenerational equity. The second aspect is the intra-generational equity. In this present generation, okay, we have some countries which is already developed, some countries which are still in the developing state. So in the developing countries, there's a lot of poverty, but in the developed countries, they are rich people. So what can be done? The technological development of rich countries should support the economic growth of poor countries. So those rich countries which is there, which is already developed, they have to help for the growth of the poor countries which are still in the developing stage, so that the gap, what gap? Wealth gap can be minimized and it can lead to sustainability. So that's about the aspects of sustainable development. Next is the approach of sustainable development. The first approach is developing appropriate technology. Now we have to develop an technology which can be used locally or adopted locally. It should be eco-friendly. The resources has to be used efficiently, and culturally also it should be suitable for adopting. Okay. So we have to develop technologies which are, what is it once again? Which can be locally adopted. It should be eco-friendly. Resources has to be used efficiently. Also, it should be culturally suitable. When we do this, what will happen is we can use local labor, less resources, and produce minimum waste, which is the main sustainable development which we can do. So this is the first approach. Next is 3R approach, that is reuse, reduce, recycle. We have seen this several times, isn't it? But actually, practically, are we applying this? This is the most important approach of sustainable development. The 3R approach, we call it as. We have to use the natural resources optimally, okay? That is reduce. Then comes reuse as much as possible. There are some resources which we can use over and over again, okay? That is reuse. And there are some resources which cannot be reused, but it can be recycled. So we have to segregate all the resources which can be reused, which can be recycled, and also we have to take care that some of the resources we use optimally. So this is the 3R approach of sustainable development. Next approach is providing environmental education and awareness. We have to provide all the education that can reach every individual about how our environment is getting affected, what are the consequences, how are we over exploiting it, and what is the solution, what we can do to save our environment for future generation. So it is very important to provide awareness. Next is consumption of renewable resources. We have to have an approach where we can use renewable resources more and optimally use the non-renewable resources. For example, solar energy, what we have, the energy which we can get from the sunlight, okay? This is a renewable resource. It is not something which is going to get over after certain time, isn't it? So we have to have an approach where we can use renewable resources so that it will not affect our future generation at all, okay? So we can do this. Also, non-renewable resources should be used optimally, and also it can be conserved by recycling and reusing. So we can do this. And the last one is by population control, we can make sustainable development. There's a huge population which we have, very small amount of land, but the population which is there depending on that land resource is very, very high. So population control can be done to go towards the sustainable development. Next is factors affecting the sustainable development. Why is it so difficult for the sustainable approach? First thing is excessive exploitation of non-renewable resources. We are just not thinking about the future generation at all. We are having some natural resources which we know it cannot be renewed, but still we are exploiting it. Okay, so this is the first factor. Second is about the increasing population growth and the population density. As I told you all, we have a large population which is dependent on very small amount of land resource which we have. And due to this, there is again exploitation of land resources also. So this is second factor which is affecting the sustainable approach. Next is decreasing gross domestic product per capita. The next one, uncontrolled consumption of energy and environmental pollution. So there is a lot of pollution which we are causing. We are just not controlling the pollution, nor we are trying to save the energy. The energy what is there, it can be electrical energy or it can be nuclear energy, whichever is the energy resource which we have, we are using it uncontrollably. Okay, and the last one is deterioration of land. Our land resources are getting deteriorated because of deforestation and we are entering into desertification mode. So this is some of the factors which is affecting the sustainable development. Next is about the awareness of global dimension of environmental problems. So globally, for this environmental problems to be solved, what are the different approaches which we have? Okay, the first one is there was a conference which was held in Stockholm at Sweden in 1968 to focus on human interactions and their environment. That was the first conference which was held. At conference, it became very clear that environmental protection and societal development have significant political implication as they are directly linked to human rights. So there are several human rights, that is, we have right to health, right to life, right to private family life, right to property, etc., etc. And these rights are actually those which are affecting our environment as well. Okay, that is the onset of various environmental issues, especially that is related to the climate change, has created potential conflict between the different rights for us humans. So this was the first conference and this was the discussion which was held. Next is the United Nations Summit. The issues which were addressed in the United Nations Earth Summit are, first thing is systematic scrutiny of pattern of production of especially the toxic components such as lead in gasoline, or it can be poisonous waste including radioactive chemicals. So what is the scrutiny which needs to be happening here? What are the strict measures which we have to take or the laws which has to be passed to produce any toxic substances? That was the first issue that was addressed. Second thing is the alternative sources of energy to replace the use of fossil fuels. We know we have very little fossil fuels and for the population what we have is actually insufficient. Thus, what is that source which we can replace the fossil fuels? So that should be of lot of concern. That was the second issue which was discussed. And the third one is the new reliance on public transportation system. We have to have a new transportation system so that the amount of vehicles which is running and the exhaust gases from these vehicles which is causing pollution can be controlled. So these are the three major issues which were addressed in United Nations Summit. Next is the bottom-up approach for the risk management. So what we need to do to save our environment? First is we have to identify the problem and design the solution, and we have to have a systematic approach to go towards the sustainable development. The second is the mitigation, adaptation and resilience are the instruments to secure resources and opportunities for the future generation. We have to prioritize what are the sources which we need to use and which are the sources which we need to conserve to give it to our future generation. Also, the importance of sustainability. Although we know about the importance of sustainability and sustainable development, still we have not got a clear picture in terms of, engineering. That is, there has to be a strategy that has to be designed so that we can save our environment for our future generation. So, I hope you have understood this particular chapter. Thank you, my dear children. Stay tuned for more updates.